Inconsistent academic outcomes. Sometimes we're doing well, sometimes we're not, and burnout. But because there are some moves that we could be making in the classroom that would actually erase some of the issues that we're seeing here. When I figured out how to apply them into the classroom, when I learned how to leverage my unique gifts, skills, talents, and ability matched with these principles, that's when things turned around. Strategies differ from classroom to classroom, from teacher to teacher, it's gonna change. But high impact classrooms aren't built on random strategies. They're built on proven principles that are implemented consistently. But I'm telling you the truth, I was a terrible teacher. You wanna leave now too? You can walk out.
No, I need to listen. I want to.
I was a terrible teacher. I'm telling you, when I started teaching, again, I was excited, I was ready to go, but things didn't go according to plan when I first got started. The craziest part of all of this though, is that it should have. How many of us wish that sometimes when you're just passionate about something, when you're excited about something, when you really want something, that it should just work out? Like, I just really want to be good. Just let me be good. Why do I have to struggle at this? I was so passionate and so driven, and I'll tell you why. If I told you where I grew up, some of you would feel sorry for me. If I gave you my zip code, if I told you where I was born and where I was raised in Staten Island, New York, and I told you that area where I grew up, you would be like, man, all the crime, all the poverty, all the things that they got going on. But this is not that story. I'm not the speaker that comes and I was like, yeah, I had to get it up out the mud. I was eating out of trash cans. I'm not that speaker. What I'm saying is there was a lot going on in my zip code, but what was going on in my zip code wasn't going on in my household. My parents were protecting me. They were covering me from the things that were going on around me. And it's funny because I can remember, I was born in '92, and I know a lot of times I talk to my friends, we always reflect on the past, and we reflect on the past, and they think things like, my parents used to tell me, you better be inside before the street lights come on. Have y'all heard that? My parents never said that to me because I was never outside. I wasn't out there. It was like, get off the bus, come home. You don't need to be out there. And in reflection, right now, as a grown man, I'm so grateful for the way that I was raised. But in that season of my life, I hated it. I couldn't stand the fact that I was so different. I couldn't stand the fact that I was sheltered. I couldn't stand the fact that I was the weird kid. When I was in that school, it was IS 61 in Staten Island, New York. It was a Title I school, majority minority students. And as I was in that school, it was actually a magnet school. So we had one cohort of students that were accelerated or gifted, and I was in that class. Good grades, good behavior, but I'm the only black student in that class. So now me against the other 30 students, I'm the only black student in that class, and now they start to treat me differently because I look different. But the crazy thing is, it's not just them, it's the teachers too. The teachers are treating me different because I look different. And I can hang with them academically, but socially, things were a little off. But then if you know anything about magnet schools, once you go back to your elective classes, your Spanish, your science, your art, now it's more representative of the population. So now I'm in gym class with kids who look like me, but they don't act like me because of the way that I grew up. So now because I don't act like them, because I don't speak like them, because I don't use the same verbiage and language and cursing, and because I'm not doing all these things that they're doing, now they're looking at me like I'm the weirdo. And I don't hang with them either. So my magnet classes, I don't work out there. My regular classes, I don't work out there. And there was never once a teacher who I ever felt connected with. And I can remember this one event. I remember being in the classroom in the cafeteria one day, middle school cafeteria. I'm sitting there as a sixth grader, and I see a group of boys coming over to me. And I knew that something was about to go down. Because if you know anything about a middle school cafeteria, it's a terrible place to be. Terrible place. So I'm sitting in the middle school cafeteria, and it's the same group of boys that always pick on me. They always bully me. They always got something to say about me. Maybe because they're laughing at me because I'm vegetarian and I'm taking the pepperoni off the pizza. Whatever it is, they're always laughing at me for something. So they come in my class, or they come into the cafeteria and they sit down, and this day they start picking on me, calling me Oreo. Oreo means you're black on the outside, but you're really white on the inside. So here they come, all excited. They're like, oh, Oreo, what's going on? Why are you sitting over here by yourself? And they, laughing at me, poking at me, making jokes, calling me short, all the things. And I just remember sitting there and I'm starting to get hot. I'm starting to feel the goosebumps on my arm. I don't like this feeling. I'm starting to feel tears form at the bottom of my eyes. But if there's one thing that I knew as a middle school boy, it's that you can't let them see you cry. So I started feeling it, and I got up to excuse myself. My goal was to get to the bathroom as quickly as possible. It's the tactic that I use very often. I would go to the bathroom and I would sit in the stall because although it stunk a little bit, at least it was quiet. I could just sit there by myself. Nobody's picking on me here. So I got up, left my tray, started walking down the hallway. I'm going to the bathroom just so I can sit there. And I can remember walking out of the cafeteria and coming in contact with this teacher. As I mentioned, tears were starting to form at the bottom of my eyes. And I know I'm trying to hold everything in. And I see him walking towards me. He's not somebody who teaches me, but I know that he's a teacher in the building. And as I'm walking down, our paths are about to cross. And he looks at me and he says, "How's it going?" And I look up at him. And with everything in my body, I want to tell the truth. With everything in my body, I just want to word vomit how I don't feel seen, how I don't feel like anybody cares about me, how I don't feel like I can fit in with anybody. I just want to tell him everything I'm going through, how although I get good grades, although I have good behavior, that I'm struggling on the inside. I want to share everything with him. But when I finally open my mouth to respond to his question, I answer him the same way I answer everybody else who asks me how I'm doing. And I say, "I'm good. I'm fine." If you would like for your school district to be empowered as well, you can click the link down below and our team will reach out to you. And he says, "All right." And he keeps walking. And in that moment, in that hallway, on the way to the bathroom, is when I had this realization. I said, no student should feel the way I'm feeling right now. No student should be in a building full of people and still feel alone. No student should be here with teachers that are supposed to care and love us and not have an adult that I can connect with. So in that moment, as a 6th grade student, is when I said to myself, I'm going to become a teacher because I want to be the teacher that I always needed and never had. I carried that mission with me through high school, into college as I declared my major. And on August 4th, 2014, I stepped into the classroom for the first time, carrying that why, carrying that passion, carrying that drive. I walked into a 7th grade math classroom with 31 students in it with that passion. And the way they disrespected me, the way that they hurt me, they would come in, they were running around, they would throw things, they would slap the door jamb, they're doing a worm on the floor, they got their phones out like this. I'm like, listen, hold on. Did you not hear my why? Like, I want to be a great teacher, but I had no idea what I was doing. I was a terrible teacher when I first started, y'all. I promise. Grades, I was teaching 7th grade math. I had students that were coming in on the 5th, 6th grade level. By middle of the year, they were on the 4th, 5th grade level. They were going backwards. In terms of discipline, we had a staff meeting where they showed the data of all the discipline referrals by teacher. I had the most discipline referrals of anybody in the building. I was just submitting them. I like 3 a block. I'm just sending them. Get out of here. Students would fight in the classroom. They would be up and running around and doing all their things. They would just be loud. There was never a point in which things made sense in that classroom. It got to the point where I said to the students, you know what? I'm only going to teach those who want to learn. If you don't want to learn, if you don't care about your future, I don't care about it either. I said, if you want to learn, come sit up close to the front. Everybody else, I don't care what you do. I had 31 students. I had like 3 of them that came up to the front. Everybody else was like, oh, for real? Had a good old time, party in the back. Did it change? Nah, we're going to end the session right here. That's it. Have a great day. I was terrible. But all this was happening in the first couple weeks of school. But if I could be honest, the thing that I remember the most is going to be the apple. It was definitely the apple. I was standing, teaching my class one day. I had my favorite blue marker. I'm standing at the board, writing out a problem. And as I'm sitting there, teaching the students that want to learn, all 3 of them, out of nowhere, I just feel something go whizzing by my head and splat on the board in front of me. Somebody just hurled an apple at me as hard as they possibly could. They missed, but they tried. She said, what school was that? I was in Huntsville, Alabama. So here I am. And now I'm starting to feel mad. I'm starting to feel that same feeling that I was feeling when I was a 6th grade student, getting hot, getting frustrated, starting to get tears at the bottom of my eyes. But I know one thing as a teacher, can't let them see you cry. So I turn around and I toughen up I get serious with him, get real serious. And I'm like, who threw that? Why are you laughing at me, man? That was my serious face. I was like, who threw that? And they were like, oh, Mr. Williams, oh, I wouldn't take that if I were you. Dude, you see that? That almost hit him. And I was like, right. I was like, all right, I'm gonna say it again. Who threw that? They were like, yo, just let it go, Mr. Williams. You're doing the most right now. That's crazy. Then I had a genius idea. I was like, all right, if nobody tells me who did it, everybody is getting extra homework. I was gonna do it for them. And they was like, Mr. Williams, just leave it alone. And the crazy thing is, to this day, I don't know who threw that apple. I've got suspicions. As a matter of fact, he follows me on Facebook. I think I know, I'm not gonna. I saw him post the other day. I was like, it was you that threw the apple. I just know. I didn't ask him. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna try to ask him.
You have to let us know.
I'm gonna put it on Facebook. You just gotta follow me, or Instagram, YouTube, something. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna send him messages. I'm like, bro, just be honest. You got kids now. Like, was it you?
I can't do anything now.
Teachers are burning out faster than ever. Confidence is dropping, imposter syndrome is rising, and too many classrooms feel like survival instead of transformation. But what if it doesn't have to be this way? Great teaching isn't magic, it's a method. And inside the Impact Playbook, you'll discover the 6 principles that thousands of teachers are already using to reignite their passion, engage their students, and build classrooms that thrive. This isn't just another book that collects dust on the shelf. It's a complete system that helps teachers step into their strengths, prevent burnout, and create learning that sticks. If you're looking to see a drop in teacher turnover and a boost in student engagement, the principles are right here inside the book. So if you're a teacher ready to reclaim your confidence, or a district leader ready to transform entire schools, click the link to get the Impact Playbook today. Because when teachers win, students win, and entire communities win, and the world is changed forever.
To this day, I don't know who threw that apple, but I know that a lot of us find ourselves in this same situation. I know that a lot of us are excited, are passionate, want to do well, and that we find ourselves in a situation where there's things going on in the classroom that we don't want to see happen. I know I'm not the only one who's experienced some of these things in the classroom, because teachers nationwide have told me that they experience student disengagement, that they've seen some behavior challenges sparking up, low ownership. Nothing is anybody's fault anymore. That's not on me, right? Inconsistent academic outcomes. Sometimes we're doing well, sometimes we're not. And burnout in teachers and students. Anybody seen anything on the board? Anybody seen any of this stuff? Yeah. The whole county dealing with behavior challenges. So ultimately, what ends up happening when we find ourselves in this situation right here, what ends up happening is we see these things. We've got constant redirection. We've got passive learning. We've got exhaustion. We've got learned helplessness. We've got all these things happening because of the issues that are arising in the classrooms. Not because we have a lack of passion, not because we have a lack of drive, not because we have a lack of wanting to be here, but because there are some moves that we could be making in the classroom that would actually erase some of the issues that we're seeing here on the board. Which is why today, I'm gonna show you the 6 high leverage principles that increase student engagement, ownership, and achievement. These are things that if they exist in every single classroom, we will be set, you will be solid, and you'll be able to make the impact that you were called to make. These are not just vibes. These are not just thoughts that I had in my mind. This is research backed, and it's gonna show you exactly what you have to do. You asked earlier, did it get better? You keep telling us how terrible you were. Did it get better? Eventually it did. When I figured out these 6 principles, when I figured out how to apply them into the classroom, when I learned how to leverage my unique gifts, skills, talents, and ability matched with these principles, that's when things turned around for me. And eventually I was able to transition from that terrible teacher to a 2-time teacher of the year. I was eventually able to become an international keynote speaker where I help other teachers realize that you've got what it takes. A 2-time best-selling author, trained thousands of educators. And the reason why I'm sharing this is not to impress you, but to impress upon you what is possible when you master these 6 principles. What I'm super excited about though, is one of, you see the name there, Michelle Pierce. After I was teacher of the year for the 2nd time, a coworker in my school came to me, she said, listen, I just need you to mentor me. Like I want to be better at teaching. I'm not really getting it. Like, can you help me out? Share with me your strategies. What is it that you do? Can I just shadow you? Can I watch you in the classroom? Like, how can I learn from you? And I just remember saying to her, that's the issue that a lot of people make. A lot of people think that a strategy is gonna fix the classroom. Give me more strategies. I just need more strategies. Tell me exactly what's gonna work. I made a post on Instagram, I believe, the other day, and somebody commented, and I was talking about classroom management as a whole, like how we can manage the classroom, and then somebody commented, he was like, no, but what consequence works? I was like, dude, I don't know what grade level you teach, what state you're in, what your students act like. How am I gonna tell you, yes, do this, and student behavior will go away? Strategies differ from classroom to classroom, from teacher to teacher, it's gonna change. But high impact classrooms aren't built on random strategies. They're built on proven principles that are implemented consistently. When we understand the principles of effective instruction, then we can create strategies that lead to high impact. Does that make sense? So the principles I like to think about as the root system of the tree. Strategies are the leaves. But when you get the roots down, you can create as many strategies as you want. So today we're gonna learn the 6 principles of effective instruction. And this is actually detailed in my book, The Impact Playbook for New Teachers. Earlier we said, who's a new teacher? Everybody. You better be a new teacher, right? Better be a new teacher. So here's the Impact Playbook for New Teachers. In chapter 4, I say this: what I discovered through years of failing, this is wild, years of studying, years of growing, and eventually winning, is that every truly effective teacher operates from the same 6 foundational principles. The same 6, y'all. Not the same strategies, not the same style, not the same personality, but these same 6 principles I'm gonna show you today. And the cool thing about this is that super shout out to the Next Level Learning Conference, because they have made it possible for everybody to receive a paperback copy of the Impact Playbook for New Teachers. Yeah, you can clap it up. Yep. You got it. She said, I'm gonna read it now. The books are over there. Michelle's gonna help us pass them out after. But inside of the book, I call it the Impact Playbook because you're gonna find the plays that I'm talking about. We're gonna understand the principles, and you're gonna find the plays that you can move in order to make the impact that only you can. That's the whole purpose of the book. And again, it's so cool how it's written. You should definitely check it out. But I'm a storyteller, that's what I do. So throughout the book, it tells the story of my transition from a terrible teacher to 2-time teacher of the year and all the things I was experiencing, and you have that book. You also have the copy of my first book, which is 99% Human, 1% Amazing. You have a digital download. That QR code is in the lobby, so you have access to both of the books I've written. Paperback right there, digital copy in the lobby. You got them. It's all for you. Shout out to Next Level Learning Conference for making it happen for you. All right? You got it. I help new teachers become the teachers they've always wanted to be and make the impact our students deserve. Because I've been there. I know what it's like to struggle, to feel like I'm not enough, but I also know what's on the other side. Excitement, fulfillment, and the ability to change lives. Every great teacher was once a new teacher, and new teachers are often excited and eager and anxious, but a lot of times new teachers lack the foundational skills of effective instruction. Every teacher that I work with, I carry them through this journey, helping them master the principles of effective instruction so that they know how capable they are. I can't wait to see these teachers enact their 1% amazing and make the difference that only they can. If you would like for your school district to be empowered as well, you can click the link down below and our team will reach out to you.